They have posted who's your San Juan, Puerto Rico MVP. And these are the candidates: Paige Bueckers, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, what? Ryan Howard. I can see Howard being in the mix here because her scoring has been lights out. Jackie Young, and then a bunch of other players down here. And all I can tell you is I don't know what happened because I went over and voted once early this morning. And Caitlin Clark was running away with this joker.
FIBA released their MVP fan vote for the Puerto Rico qualifying tournament, and Caitlin Clark was dominating it, leading by thousands of votes. Then, in less than 15 minutes, Paige Bueckers somehow jumped ahead with a surge that doesn't even make sense, mathematically 7,000 votes in just 5 minutes. The comment section instantly blew up with one word: bots.
Happened. I don't have any idea how Paige Bueckers got this many votes this quickly. And by the way, this was actually a wider spread for a little while. But Caitlin Clark and her fans are catching her up right now. But this was a pretty wide margin when I was over there this morning and Caitlin was leading. I noticed one comment said that Paige had 7.
Take a look at those numbers. 168,000 votes, 156,000 votes. This isn't a steady rise, this is a straight vertical spike, happening while people were refreshing their browsers in real time. Fans began taking screenshots of the vote totals, tracking the surge minute by minute, and the pattern they captured tells a story that FIBA needs to explain immediately.
The Yukon Mafia, guys, we've talked about them. I mean, the agenda is once again thick. It's real thick right now. I mean, you look down through here, and it is hilarious. All of the pro Caitlin Clark comments to the pro Paige Bueckers comments. It's like 15 or 20 to 1. And I'm like, okay, something's not right. So are we talking about bots?
Here's what makes this even more suspicious. The Dallas Wings, where Paige Bueckers is set to play next season, had trouble selling out their arena several times this year. Their fan base is loyal, but it's not big enough to suddenly mobilize tens of thousands of coordinated voters within minutes. Yet we're expected to believe they pulled off the fastest vote swing in FIBA polling history against Caitlin Clark's fan base, the same fan base that crashed Ticketmaster servers and drew 3.2 million viewers to WNBA games. The math just doesn't add up.
Are flooding the Paige Bueckers situation. Somebody pointed out there's no way a 3,000 vote gap is surpassed in 15 minutes unless bots are involved. I mean, what is going on here? Right here, FIBA's been unserious this whole tournament, from commentary to this fake voting system. Disclaimer, this fan vote is not an official.
And FIBA knew this could happen. That disclaimer at the bottom of their poll says everything. This fan vote is not an official statement from FIBA. Translation: we're not taking responsibility if this goes off the rails. They created a system with no verification, no voting limits, and zero protection against bots, then acted surprised when someone allegedly manipulated it. But here's what they didn't expect. They didn't expect fans to track everything in real time. Screenshots with timestamps, vote counts recorded every few minutes, a full digital trail showing exactly when the numbers stopped making sense.
I say in points, assists, plus minus, efficiency, she's killing it. She's killing it right now. I mean, FIBA, you need to take this down. Both bases are buying bot votes. They're accusing the Caitlin Clark fan base of buying bot votes. I just don't know that I get that. That I agree with that. This was 4 hours ago. You can see right there, Caitlin was leading, and then all hell broke loose. I mean, we're talking. Look at these amounts: 168,000, 150.
Now look at the actual performance stats. Caitlin Clark is leading Team USA in points, assists, plus minus, and overall efficiency during this tournament. She has been the most dominant player on the court, and it is not even close. Ryan Howard has also been outstanding, averaging over 20 points per game with elite shooting percentages. Both of them have legitimate MVP cases. Paige Bueckers has been solid, Good, even, but not 7,000 votes in 5 minutes. Good, and certainly not enough to erase a 3,000 vote deficit in under 20 minutes. The performance just does not match the polling surge, and that is where the whole thing falls apart.
Damn, y'all using bots for Paige or what? It looks fishy. It looks very, very fishy. By the way, I don't love that you can vote over and over and over again. Paige fans, stop using bots. Actually vote. Right here, not going to lie, it's worthless to vote. Paige Bueckers fans are buying votes. She went up 7,000 votes.
The comment section turned into a crime scene investigation. Fans began analyzing the vote patterns like they were forensic accountants. Someone noticed that pro-Caitlin Clark comments outnumbered pro-Paige Bueckers comments by a ratio of 15-1, yet somehow Paige was winning the vote. That is not how organic support works. When a fan base is truly mobilized, they show up in the comments too. They don't just silently click a button 70,000 times in an hour.
I mean, is there a way that they could get in there and find out if the votes are legit? If they've got a good IT team? Yes, absolutely. They could determine whether or not the vote is being artificially inflated. Never underestimate the agenda. Never underestimate the Yukon mob. We know how this goes. I mean, but we're talking about somebody,
And then there's the TikTok bot army theory. Multiple fans pointed out that Paige Bueckers has a known presence on TikTok with dedicated fan accounts that coordinate voting campaigns. That's not inherently suspicious. Many players have organized fan bases, but when those coordination efforts create vote counts that spike faster than humanly possible, you move from organized fandom into automated manipulation territory. The technology exists, bot farms can generate thousands of votes in minutes. The question isn't whether it's possible. The question is whether FIBA has the IT infrastructure to detect it and the willingness to investigate.
It's fishy. It seems weird that Caitlin was running away with this thing, and then all of a sudden, what happened exactly? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't. And now, of course, yeah, a lot of...
This isn't the first time we've seen this pattern. Remember the agenda we've talked about, the one that's been in play since Caitlin Clark entered the WNBA, the Yukon Mafia, as some fans call it, a network of former Yukon players, coaches, and media members who seem to coordinate narratives around certain players while diminishing others. Paige Bueckers is a Yukon product. Gino Auriemma's program, the same pipeline that's produced some of the WNBA's biggest stars and most influential voices.
Kind of like, hey, I got some oceanfront property in Arizona if you want to buy it. Yeah, that's not a thing. That's not a deal. Okay. That's not something legit. Tell me what you think. Make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed. Tell me in the comments section, is this fishy or not? I'm calling bullshit. There, I said it out loud. Calling the bullshit. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show.
Now, to be clear, Paige Bueckers is an exceptional talent. She's going to be a star in the WNBA. This isn't about her skill or her character. This is about a system that appears to be manipulated in ways that undermine legitimate competition. When vote counts defy statistical probability, it damages everyone involved, including the player who benefits from it. Because now, even if Paige Bueckers wins this MVP vote legitimately, the results are tainted, the credibility is gone, fans will always wonder if the outcome was earned or engineered. That's not fair to her, and it's certainly not fair to the players who actually dominated the tournament. Statistically, FIBA has a decision to make. They can investigate these vote patterns with their IT team. It's not complicated. Any competent data analyst can identify bot traffic. You look for patterns, identical IP addresses, vote timestamps clustered in microseconds, user agents that match automated scripts. If this was organic voting, the data will show randomized patterns consistent with human behavior. If it was bots, the data will show mechanical precision that's impossible for real people to replicate. The question is whether FIBA wants to know the answer, because if they investigate and confirm bot manipulation, they have to invalidate the results. They have to acknowledge their system failed. They have to deal with the fallout of a compromised vote that's already generated thousands of social media posts and news articles. It's easier to do nothing, to let the disclaimer protect them, to crown a fan-voted MVP and move on. Pretending the controversy never happened, that's the path of least resistance. And it's probably the path they'll take. But that decision has consequences. It tells fans that FIBA doesn't care about integrity. It tells players that performance doesn't matter as much as who has the most sophisticated bot operation. It sets a precedent that online polls in international basketball are meaningless theater, easily manipulated by anyone with basic technical skills and questionable ethics, and it feeds into the larger narrative that's been poisoning the WNBA all season. The narrative that certain players get preferential treatment, that the agenda determines outcomes more than actual performance, that the game itself is secondary to the politics and power structures operating behind the scenes. Caitlin Clark's fans have been documenting this pattern for months. Every questionable call, every media narrative that doesn't match reality, every time the stats say one thing and the coverage says another, they're not imagining it, the receipts are everywhere, and now they're watching it happen in real time with an international basketball organization that should be above this kind of manipulation. This FIBA vote might seem trivial. It's a fan poll for a qualifying tournament, not an official award, but it matters because it's another data point in a pattern that's becoming impossible to ignore. When the same suspicious dynamics keep appearing across different organizations, different platforms, different contexts, you're not looking at isolated incidents anymore. You're looking at a coordinated effort, and the people orchestrating it are getting sloppy. They're not even trying to make it look organic anymore. 7,000 votes in 5 minutes, a 3,000 vote deficit erased in 20 minutes, numbers that would make a Vegas oddsmaker laugh. They're counting on FIBA to look the other way. And they're probably right, but they didn't count on the fans to document everything, to screenshot the evidence, to analyze the patterns, to refuse to let this slide into the memory hole like so many other suspicious moments this season. The internet doesn't forget, and the WNBA's credibility problem isn't going away just because organizations like FIBA pretend it doesn't exist. So here's what needs to happen. FIBA needs to pause this vote immediately. They need to audit the data with transparent methodology. They need to publish their findings even if it's embarrassing. And if they confirm bot manipulation, they need to invalidate the compromised results and implement actual security measures before trying again. Will they do any of that? Probably not. But the alternative is watching international basketball become as corrupted by agenda-driven manipulation as domestic coverage has been. And that's not a future anyone who actually cares about the sport should accept. The choice is simple: investigate the suspicious vote patterns and restore credibility, or ignore the evidence and confirm that performance doesn't matter as much as who has the best bot farm. FIBA gets to decide what kind of organization they want to be. The fans are watching, the players are watching, and the screenshots are already saved. What do you think FIBA should do? Should they investigate these vote patterns, or is this just fans being paranoid? Drop your take in the comments, because this conversation is far from over.